Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. There it is. There it is. Welcome to another round of STIRCRAZY Formula 1. Spa in the rain qualifying. We all know the rain can get very, very dangerous. Alright, the first car coming out. Jack the King in the Renault. What lap time can he do in the rain? Word is that in the chat, in the Discord, people are very, very angry that there is rain during the qualifying, but we all know that there are a certain few people who love rainy conditions. There are a couple of people who rainy conditions actually help them out during the race. So will we see a surprise podium? Will we see some epic wheel-to-wheel battles in the rain? Some people going up a Rouge into the barriers. It's gonna be glorious, lads. I'm telling you, it's gonna be legendary. First lap, half the grid is going to be out if it rains during the race. Now that I think about it, it probably won't. As my man from Renault starts out his lap, and it's invalidated. As we move on into the onboard of the Red Bull. The Spanish man, Deuce Licks. Spanish man, going up Rouge. Hits them apexes nicely. Oh, goes off into the grass a little bit. No biggie. Onto the main straight. We have invalidated laps from the cars behind. As we go on board with the Alfa Romeo, gets the purple sector, but then it's taken away quickly. Through this right-hander. Gripping nicely, there's a car in front, gets out of the way, brilliant. Finding the grip. And the Red Bull invalidates the lap. As we go with the other Red Bull of Marco Kenya. Can he get the fastest lap to start it off? Alright, we're on board with former Barland 238. This is gonna be the first time of the session. And he's off! He's off into the grass! He just needed one more part and he bowls it. He bowls it in the last part and he goes wide. Very, very bad part of this last lap for former Barland. Bowls it in the last sector. Gets across the line. That's a 104.8. And that's a 158 for the German of FLR. Amazing. Here comes Marine. YouTube Marine, the Flying Dutchman. Gets on the power early, very nicely. Third gear, fourth gear, short shifts up into fourth gear, across the line. And that's P3 for YouTube Marine. And his teammate, Baboon J, into P2. Steals P2 from his teammate. We're gonna have some McLaren action. P4 for It's Wisp, and former Barland drops all the way to P5. Former Barland needs to get another lap in. His first lap was atrocious. As we go on board with this Ferrari. Oh, gets on the power a little bit too early and spins it off. Goes across the line into P5. That's a flat 2 minutes, .9. And that's P3 for Taco Dalawa. Brilliant. Amazing. Here comes the man from Japan. As we're on board with the Red Bull, about to finish his lap, the Spanish man, Duslex. Brakes nicely. His first apex. Wraps around very well, hits the second apex. Very careful on the throttle, spins it a little bit, but what will his time be? Duslex across the line, P9. As Basket Emil goes into P6, 159.1, the Mercedes. No. Alright, interrupted there by the little sister, but we're back. Into the pits goes the Alfa Romeo of Wisp, who almost crashes it in the pit lane, but it doesn't matter. As we go on board with the Ferrari of Cosmic, which is an invalidated time. On board with Jack the King, another invalidated time. We're gonna go with the other Renault. Another invalidated time from the Renault. Can anybody get a clean lap through? Oh, I think they're on their in lap. It seems as if YouTube Marine is onto his fast lap, using up that ERS, staying in that dry part of the track, trying to get all the grip possible. Gets a little bit of wheel spin. It doesn't seem to be that big of a problem as he goes across this turn, gets on the power early. As the cars get out of the way for the Flying Dutchman, he's coming on what looks to be a very, very promising lap. Careful on those curbs, the rain can be very, very dangerous as YouTube Marine, the Flying Dutchman, going across the final straight here. As we go on board with Luke. Oh, Luke, getting that wheel spin, going across the line, P20. And Luke is into P10, into the provisional 10th place. That's not too bad to be in last place. We go back with YouTube. Marine across the line, stays in P5. In pole position, we currently have 158.4. No, 158.14 of FLR. 2/10 behind is the Renault of Willy Kid. Willy Kid, there it is. There it is, Willy Kid. Oh. Oh, and that's a very, very bad last sector for the Renault. Starting off his lap, Yanis Knight, the Williams man, goes up a Rouge, amazing pace, makes the car stick to the ground gloriously onto the main straight, stays on the dry part of the track to get that extra traction. Gets that purple sector into the next braking zone very nicely, trying to get every bit of grip possible, every 10th, just doing an amazing job. Uses all of the track across that curb. Was so close to invalidating, but just keeps it in. Goes around this very, very slow U-turn across this left-hander. Keeps the car in the track nicely, gets on the power very, very conservatively, I would say. Across the line comes the Williams of Marijn Milan. Here comes Marijn. Across the line, Marijn Milan goes into P7. As we go back on board. Oh, that's another purple sector for Yanis Nayani, the Williams man. Showing whopping pace. Alright, 6 minutes left in this qualifying. The drivers in danger are currently Yanis Nayani, Crossfire Strikes, Tygo Plays, Day Miles, and I Restyle F1. What has happened to those men? I do not know. I couldn't tell you. As here comes Yanis Knight into the final pot. Goes across. It's pole position for Yanis Knight into Q1. Now, the driver in danger, Jack the King. Can Jack the King get out of the danger zone? It's an invalidated time for Jack. He needs to get in the pits. He needs to get out there quickly and put in a solid time for Renault, or he will be. Oh, Jack the King retires from the session as he goes into the barrier in the pit wall. It's a broken wheel for Jack the King. It's an atrocious qualifying session for the Renault of Jack the King. These are some absolute scenes here. Absolute scenes. On board with Duzlex coming on to his final lap of the session, I believe. I don't know if we can get another lap in, but we'll see. Here comes Duzlex into the first sector, first turn. And gets a pretty bad exit off into the first turn, and we all know how fucked up that, oh my bad, no bad words, we all know how bad that could be for the whole straight. Gets another average exit out into the main straight. This does not look like it's going to be a very, very promising lap as we go on board with the Mercedes that has another invalidated time, but I'm pretty sure he's about to start his fast lap here as we go on board with the black Mercedes. What a sexy car, am I right? Oh, goes into the pits, the Mercedes. As here comes Yanis Knight into the pits. Careful now, as we already know there's a car that's been completely taken out. Alright, on board with Duzlex. As he goes out of the track, gets back in the, it's not invalidated, but as it stands, Duzlex is in the safe zone and into Q2. The drivers in danger are from 16th and below. That is Jack the King. I don't know if these cars that aren't showing up on the as like a dark color, the gray ones, I don't know if they're already retired. Duzlex goes across the line to start off his lap. It's another invalidated lap for Marijn Milan, the car behind him, the AlphaTauri. He's become a lawnmower. The AlphaTauri has done absolutely, has gone through some shambles. Oh my god. What is he doing? This man just turned into a lawnmower. He said, you know what? Spa needs to cut some grass. He took the job into his own hands. Brilliant. Alright. On board on the out lap of It's Wisp behind him is the Racing Point of Tygo Plays. Tygo Plays in his out lap. Tygo Plays needs to have a very, very good lap. Specifically, he needs to pass that 2 minute mark, because passing the 2 minute mark, he's on to Q2, and after that, after Q2, anything could happen, you know. He might even get pole next session. We don't know. Tygo Plays setting up his lap here. I don't know why he's using so much ERS on the last part, but it's fine. Alright. Sets up the exit of the first turn nicely to get the lap started. On the power conservative, we don't want any wheel spin, and he spins. This is his last chance. Doesn't matter if he spins, he needs to get the most out of every single turn in this lap, because this will decide if he starts from the back of the grid or has a chance to go up. Baboon J has retired from the session into P5, pretty solidly into Q2. As we get on with the fastest lap of Tygo Plays, and he spins it, going up a rouge, and he breaks the wheel. He's into the barrier. That's a safety car. That's yellow flags for Sector 1. That's a retirement for Tygo Plays. We will see you in the race, Tygo. 18th place. As we're on board with It's Wisp, he needs to have a really, really good lap. Actually, he doesn't have to have a really good lap. He could actually retire already. It's impossible to get, to not make it to Q2, as this is just another practice session for the boys. Are testing out the limits of the car, seeing where the grip is in the rain, because the next qualifying is about to get saucy, as places 11 through 15 will get eliminated, and now we're starting to see some pretty even times down there. So across this final sector comes It's Wisp to the final chicane. Had a purple sector, was taken away, I believe, but either way, that's still a good sign. Into the final straight. Across the line, It's Wisp into P3. Very, very, very good lap. Doesn't really matter P3, but we all know for his confidence that will be a very, very big booster, just for in his mind to know that he is the third fastest car in the rain will definitely be delightful for my man It's Wisp, as he decides to go for another lap. What a madman. It's Wisp up a rouge, the only car on track, into the main straight, showing whopping pace. As the car of Duzlex makes it out of the pits, will he have the time to complete the lap? I had a league race a couple of days ago where I came out the same way as Duzlex. Nobody thought my lap was gonna count because the timer ends, but I got across the line before the timer ended, and by some miracle it allowed me to do the lap. Many of the drivers in that race are in this race today, including the man YouTube Marine, the Flying Dutchman, and Irie Style. Irie Style was there as well. I would have loved to race here. I love the rain. I mean, that's why the commentators on the career mode call me the Rainmaster. I didn't choose it. They started calling me that automatically. They were like, damn, you're the Rainmaster. Alright, enough of that. On board with Duzlex, invalidates the time. As we're on board with It's Wisp, It's Wisp will want to have that pole position in Q1. Who doesn't want pole position in Q1? It doesn't matter, but it's it's glorious. Gets across the line and stays P3. Very well, it's fine. Alright, that's P3. And I think that's the end of the session, because the Red Bull's on his out lap. Forgot. 10 seconds to get across the line. Can Duzlex do it? 5, 4, and the time runs out for the Red Bull. Does not get his lap done, but it's fine, as he is able to go into Q2. We will see you in a little bit, lads. Take a little break, have a breather, eat a snack, drink some water. It's about to get good. as races go on and as we move through the season, we will start to see who are the regular eliminations for Q1, who are the regulars for Q2, and then we'll start to see who's having a good performance and a bad performance. But as of today, I don't know. I know only the front runners right now, but we'll start to see some midfield action. That's a very, very, very close grid from all the way from 1st to 8th place. That was a very, 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 very promising times for the race. That's what you want to see in qualifying. You want to see people in the same second, in the same 10th, so they can battle it out on track for glory. Alright, 15 minutes in the rain, Q2. Here we go. Who will be eliminated? 11th through 14th? Be careful. As we hear the engines getting fired up. Every car still in the pits. 3 cars out. Lads, currently 9 minutes until the Champions League semi-final, so if you're planning on watching that, it's in 9 minutes, in case you forgot. Alright, as we go into the chat, see what the lads are saying. Full wets, I'm happy missed out on this. Chalet Wote, a man who was very, very fast the last race, is happy that he's not on a rainy race. As the man, Nadim Crombie says, great commentary again, man. Thank you, man. We'll try to keep up some epic commentary for the race. As the man, Crown Plays, says hello. How you doing, Crown Plays? Sad to see you're not in this race today. As the man, Crown Plays was showing some pretty strong pace last race. I don't quite remember where he ended, but I'm pretty sure he was showing some really good pace and having some battles up in the front. Or at least in the top 7, I think. Alright, Jose Carlo Cruer says, learn the corner names. That is something I will do for the... Actually, I can do that right now. I still have a little bit of time before the race. I'll pull up a picture of it. Don't worry. I'll get this down. Alright, as we go on board with the first car out into his fast lap, Marine Milan. Can we get some interviews? Okay, I'm seeing. Can me and Jack the King get some interviews? Yes, you guys can. I'll invite you to a party right now. Across the line goes Marine Milan. Sorry about that. As we're getting requests from Jack the King for a interview. We'll see if we can get him online. We'll see if we can get him, tonight. Kind of tripping up, man. All right. All right. As Jack the King joins us here, how you doing, Jack? Doing brilliantly, Jack. So Jack, how's the race looking for you, mate? How did the first qualifying session go for you, Jack? Yeah, the qualifying's been very, very tough. Very, very few people have actually gotten a solid lap in, as a lot of people spin on the last chicane. They try to get on the power a little bit too early after maybe a good lap. They're too eager and they spin it, Jack. Tough weather here in Spa. Exactly. Just gotta stay composed around this corner. Gotta stay composed on the throttle, because one little step on the throttle can put you against the wall and end your race.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful, I think.
All right, Jack. Well, we'll see from you during the race, mate. Good luck, mate. All right, Jack. Have a banger. Alright, as we will wait to see from Broomhandle. Pole position is... Oi! Broomhandle, welcome. What's up, Broomhandle? How has your qualifying been going? Tell me, Broom, so right now you are out of Q2, and so will you be looking to maybe have an alternative pit strategy if the race isn't wet, or what's it looking like on your pit wall? Okay, yeah. That could be a very, very dominant strategy. So we'll see during the race. We'll hope to see some wheel-to-wheel action from you. We'll hope to see you in the points, mate. because it's going to be a very, very tough race. It's a very, very tough lobby with some very fast people. All right, so you say you are probably in the top 5 of pace because you've been here before. So that means it's promising. You're promising us a very, very entertaining overtaking race from the back of the grid. That's brilliant. Your favorite track, pretty fast driver. I mean, we can't wait, man. The race is going to be very, very good. You'll have most of the spotlight during those overtakes, man, because, you know, the back of the grid overtakers, those usually get some pretty good action in. Yes. Yeah, and then in Spa, you never know. Any lap of the race, some guy could lose it up a rouge and pull a safety car. Any lap. I mean, that's why you always got to be on your feet, ready to get that tire strategy up. Maybe dive into the pits early. Who knows? You got to be very, very ready for those because Spa is a track where the grid does not stay the same. Oh yeah. This is a very tire demanding track. You really, really need that grip on point here because a mistake will most likely end your race here. Alright, man. Well, very, very good luck. 2 minutes left in qualifying 2. I'm going to try to see if we can get some more interviewees in, see what they have to say, mate. Good luck. We'll hope to see some brilliant overtakes from you, mate. Alright, man. Peace. Alright. 1 minute, 56 seconds left in Q2. Sorry for the lack of commentary, but I hope you guys enjoyed those interviews. P1, Willy Kid Blue again, or I don't know if it was the same. No. Well, the point is, the danger people are Duzlex, Marco Kenya, It's Wisp is already out, and Baboon J needs to get in a good lap. We know Baboon J has the pace. We know Baboon J's got some class, but can he pull it off? Can he deliver under pressure with 1 lap to go? Because this is his last lap, I believe. As we go, we're going to go on board. As we go on board with Baboon J, back of the pack, P14. The Red Bull of Marco Kenya has an invalidated lap, as he won't be able to get across the line this lap or the next one. I think this is the end of the line for Marco Kenya as we go on to the next Red Bull of Duzlex, who again invalidates his time and won't be able to get into Q3. Very, very sad for Red Bull. P11 and P12 as we go on board with Baboon J. His lap is still not invalidated, coming coming out here with some whopping pace. It's the outlap of YouTube Marine, the Flying Dutchman. He'll be looking to get another solid lap in, even though he most likely has already clinched the spot for Q3, gets across the line, starts out his lap, as we're going to go on board with the other McLaren of Babu J. Alright, through the final part, coming up to the bus stop chicane. Gets across the chicane. See how he gets on the throttle, be very careful with it. Gets across the line, Babu J from 14th goes all the way to P1. It's sensational. Babu J clinches Q3, and we'll see him into the next session. Brilliant lap from Babu J, delivering under pressure. Last lap that he could do. As we go on board with YouTube Marine, Duzlex in his fast lap, will he be able to clinch that Q3 spot? He's not too far off. I mean, in terms of time he is, but we all know during the rain, he most likely might have done a bad lap or not a perfect lap, and he might be able to pull off a really good time. As behind them we have YouTube Marine, who seems to be gaining on him quickly as he gets into the barrier. In anger, Duzlex just puts it into the wall, the Spanish man. As we go on board with YouTube Marine across the line from P9, can he clinch a better spot? It goes into P6, very solid lap from YouTube Marine, outlap from... Oh, and it's a fast lap for Babu J as he's looking to extend his lead, his 5/10, 4.5/10 lead. And the Champions League started, I forgot about that. Oh, yep. Let's go check the comment section, see what the boys are saying. Check the comment section. Oh yeah, I'm gonna commentate on the Champions League for those of you who want to know what's going on. Alright, PSG versus Leipzig. What do you guys think who do you guys think is gonna win? I mean, we obviously all know PSG should be the one to win, but PSG haven't exactly been looking like a world beater here, man, and Leipzig is looking pretty saucy right now. Oh, and here comes Sabitzer. It's a counterattack. I don't know about you guys, but I saw the last game of Leipzig. Who did they play? Who the hell did Leipzig play? They played Atletico Madrid, and Kevin Campbell, he had a game right there. That was a proper game from Kevin Campbell. I mean, he was playing like Iniesta kind of. The lads showing great support here in the comment section of YouTube. Q3, Here it is, the top 10 battling it out for pole position, for the places on the grid. The favorite of the session, definitely looking to be either Baboon J, Yanis Knight, or FLR. I really don't know. I know Willy Kid, YouTube Marine, Yanis Knight. Pretty much the whole top 10 can get pole position. I've seen all of these drivers pull off some pretty good times, so we're about to see how this goes down. Who are your predictions for pole position? Put it down there in the chat, mate. Oh, Neymar with another dive. Alright, as all the boys are out into their outlap, it seems as if a couple of cars are still in the pit lane, but the chat says Marine on pole. Other people say Baboon J or FLR. For me, those seem to be the favorites to get pole position. Those look like some pretty solid predictions for pole position. I would go with one of those two. Alright, who's going to be the first car out into the fast lap? It's going to be the Haas of FLR. Alright, as we're going on board with FLR, the Haas man, the German man. Alright, so if any of you want an interview or want to say something to the people, make sure to send me a message through PSN so I am able to see it, as I am not constantly checking chats. Lads, it seems to be a goal for PSG. I think it's Marquinhos, the man who puts it in the back of the net for the French team. There it is, 1-0, PSG. Can Leipzig bring it back? Across the line, he's gonna come FLR through the bus stop chicane. Gets that chicane pretty nicely, gets on the throttle perfectly across the line. He goes into pole position. The time will be 1:57.2. YouTube Marine gets a 1:58.34. As there goes Marine Milan into P2. Can the Ferrari make the time any better? He jumps into P3 as we go on board with the Renault. Will the Renault be able to get a decent time in? Maybe get into the top 3, split one of the cars that are already in as he dives into the pits after an atrocious lap. On board with the Alfa Romeo, a former baller, and as he spins it into the last turn, got too greedy on the throttle, gets across the line. Oh, it's his first lap. As here comes Takwalawala, the Japanese man, into P5, 158.4. As we see, the gap to the leader is pretty significant from FLR, as he has a 6/10 lead on pole position to Marine Milan. Oh, and Yanis Natyani jumps into P2. Amazing lap from Williams. Williams have 3 and 2 on the grid. Have we got anybody doing a fast lap? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem like it. Holy shit, I almost fell. Tripping on my chair, boys. Tripping on my chair. As Marine Milan has trouble getting into the pits, the pit entry seems to be a bit tricky, as we've already seen a car eat the wall getting into the pit lane and absolutely get his car destroyed. Former Barland with a very, very bad lap as we go on board with the man. Trying to set a decent time here. Gets on the power nicely, goes across the line. I think he's barely starting, because it's difficult to know when you're looking at a bunch of cars. Trust, boys. Trust. I'll get better at it, though. Yeah, and it's night coming across the bus stop chicane here. I don't know if he's about to start a lap or if he might be going into the pits. Let's see as he goes into the pits. Okay. As we go on board with Baboon J, who has not set a lap time here, has 100% ERS. Will be looking to set a blistering lap time and take the pole position off FLR. We all know track conditions typically get better during a session. I'm not 100% sure if it's raining a little bit more or less than in the start of the session, but you know, it's supposed to get drier every second. But here we go. Baboon J across the line, starting off his fast lap, his very, very crucial last lap, as he might not get another chance to set a time after this lap. Jose Carlo Kruer. I think Taco going to pole it. Marine says no. FLR or Baboon. As we're still on board with Baboon J, there's a car behind him. The Ferrari trailing closely behind Baboon J. As you can see, Baboon J in the distance. F1 has been glitching out a lot recently. There have been no drivers in the car. Elon Musk came in and said, we're making self-driving Formula 1 cars. And he's done it. Brilliant job. Look at him. No person in that car. Amazing. Baboon J controlling the car from a computer in the pit lane with Elon Musk right next to him. And Baboon J invalidates the lap time. He still has time to do another lap. Baboon J has 100% ERS. I don't know if he's been managing his fuel load, but we all know Baboon J just needs one lap to get the job done. We know Baboon J is a man who delivers under pressure. Across the last chicane he goes. We'll see if he gets a brilliant start to this lap, because it is a very crucial lap for the race, as he is in dead last place of Q3. Gets the lap started, into the pit goes the Ferrari. Starting his lap, the Renault. Or finishing his lap, I'm not quite sure. Across the line goes Willie into pole position. Willie Kid gets the pole position. I told you guys, Willie Kid is very dangerous. Across one lap, he can very much surprise anybody, as he gets a very fast lap. Across the line goes Basket Emile, starting off his lap. As the gap to the leader is more than 1 second to FLR, who is in P2. The German will be looking to set a very fast time, as he knows he needs to deliver in this lap, because his rival Willie Kid has pulled off an amazing lap in the rain here in Spa. Has shown absolute class from Renault. Has really given that Renault power unit grace. Across the line goes FLR. I think there's been a crash. I think that's Basket Emile. Has crashed in the main straight. Is that a car stopped on the main straight? Interesting. As here comes Baboon J, using all of that ERS, squeezing every little tenth out of that car through this final sector, through the bus stop chicane, gets the braking zone nicely, goes across the apex here, wraps around the corner, hits this apex nicely, tries to get on the throttle very nicely, will go across the line into P8, P7, right in front of his teammate YouTube Marine. The Ferrari goes across the track, starting off his lap. P4 will he be able to improve on his lap? I don't know if there's anybody else doing any fast laps right now. This man is invalidated. This man's in the pits. Willie seems to have invalidated a lap or about to start one, as he dives into the pits to finish off his qualifying session. FLR here pushing the limits of the car, trying to see if he can get another I believe, I'm not sure if this is his like second outlap, because sometimes drivers will take a second outlap. Drivers will take a second outlap after they've messed up their first lap and just save their fuel and DRS for the next lap. Across the line goes YouTube Marine into P3. Sensational lap. Yanis Knight into P2. Had not seen that. Sorry, Yanis. But into P2 goes Yanis. P3 YouTube. All the way down to P4 goes FLR. FLR as he starts his final lap, trying to get that pole position. Across the line here will go Taco with an invalidated lap, as this will be the end to the AlphaTauri session, to the Japanese man who I am betting that is Mexican. I think this man's Mexican, because taco adobada is a very classic Mexican dish, which is a taco that has pork meat that is sort of cooked and seasoned with spices and other shit, and you put it in a taco, and it's amazing. For those of you who know what that is, you know what I'm talking about. You know, very good stuff. Alright, the starting grid of the top 10 will look to be, I don't know if that's the Poland flag or Monaco flag. I'm having a little trip here, but I'm gonna go for, oof, I think that's Monaco. Better look it up. Alright, so Willie Kid, P1, P2 is Yanis Knight, YouTube Marine, the Flying Dutchman, into P3, P4 is FLR, Cosmic and Taco will take P5 and P6. Marine and Baboon J P7 and P8, and former Barland and Basket and Mule will take the final row of Q3 in P9 and P10. As the lads in the Discord chat talking about pit strategies, trying to figure out what is the best way to take the full advantage of tires during this race. Baboon J says doesn't know whether to start on soft or mediums. He will be talking to his pit crew, or who. Baboon J is in McLaren. He will be talking to Zach Brown, having a word with him. As the lads have 8 seconds to ready up, they're getting their mentalities ready. They're getting their mindsets ready for a very, very challenging and tough race, which is Spa-Francorchamps. Lads, are you ready? We've all been here. We've all raced in Spa. We've all come to love and hate a Rouge whenever we get it or don't get it. But this race is looking to deliver. Pole position will start with Willie Kid Blue, the man from Renault. Into P2 is Giannis Knight. The predicted pit stop strategy will be starting off with the softs and either be going on the mediums or the hards till the end of the race. Now, we all know we have some very, very fast people here on the grid. Irie style, starting from the back of the grid. Very, very fast man this. We also know Jack the King. Jack the King will be trying to make an appearance up in the front. If I don't mention you and you are fast, that's just because I haven't recognized you yet. But I promise, as races go on, I will start to get familiar with the racers. But anyway, Baboon J into P8. I'm not gonna lie, boys, the front 10 is looking absolutely delicious with some very, very quality racers. Even below the front 10, we have some very, very fast people. Broomhandle here was the man in the interview saying he's very, very excited to get this race underway. The man in the Racing Point will be looking to get into that podium position. He believes he can get himself into a podium position. I'm not going to comment whether I believe that or not, but I am certainly hoping I see this man in the podium, because that would be brilliant. As the lads getting their tires warmed up for action. Oh! Alright, so in the top 10 we have 3 people starting off on the mediums. Marine Milan, Taco Adobada, and Willie Kid Blue. Giannis Knight, Taco Adobada, and Marine Milan. Marine Milan will start off on the mediums on the alternative strategy for their teams, as their drivers line up on the grid. The back markers will try to get their spot, try to get mentally ready, as they will have the least amount of time to get ready for the race. And we're about to start, boys. Alright, lads. We want a very, very clean race. No heroes into turn 1 unless you are a hero. That's 5 lights, and it's lights out. Not yet. A little bit trippy. It's lights out, and away we go. The Renault gets up nice and what? I don't know what's going on here, lads. I just want to go on board with the Renault. As we see a lot of ghosted cars, what is going on? What is happening? The scoreboard is going absolutely mental. It does not know what's going on. Alright, Willie Kid into P1, behind him. YouTube Marine looking to get the early overtake into the first lap. Will he make a dive down the inside? Does a dummy. Stays behind Willie Kid. Willie Kid looking to maybe lose a little bit of grip as it's looking very, very tricky around this first part with them cold tires. Here comes YouTube. Giannis Knight on the mediums needs to stick with the front runners because if the front runners can get away from him, that's not what he wants. He wants to stick with the front runners on the medium tire to always have that advantage over them. Into P4, FLR, the German. We all know the German shows amazing, amazing pace, but during the wet qualifying session can change everything very, very quickly. The Ferrari right behind them as trying to see if anybody's taking any, as we have some wheel-to-wheel battles going on here. As we're going to go on board with iRestyle, looking to get across the field very, very quickly. Broomhandle already into P9, overtaking many, many people on this track. iRestyle has already overtaken so much places. Jack the King into last place. Has he taken any damage? The Mercedes go wheel to wheel. This is glorious racing, and iRestyle spins it. He breaks the wheel. Oh my god. Basket Emil gets through, and that's a spin for iRestyle. I do have to say that is nobody's fault. That is iRestyle just getting a little unlucky there. I do have to say I've done that move. I've spun it there as well. It is tricky. It is unlucky. Very, very sad to see iRestyle out of this race as he was a man that we wanted to see in action. Here comes Broomhandle. Oh, virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. That should be a full safety car. iRestyle almost died there, man. Alright. In P1 we still have Willie Kid. And it's green flags and the racing is underway as we're gonna go on board with YouTube. And it's a yellow flag. Somebody's gone off. Something's happened. Marco Kenya has retired from the session. That's 2 retirees. Sector 1, 2, and 3 yellow flag as Marco Kenya's off. We can see him on the map. In next to the number 2 there, in the yellow part of the track as the green flag is around and we resume racing. Wheel to wheel, go FLR and YouTube. Oh yeah! YouTube gets in front. The Flying Dutchman. Marco Kenya has left the session in anger. It's another yellow flag. As we have 2 men going in the pit lane. What has happened here? Have we got damage? It's a drive-through penalty for the Ferrari. Here comes Jack the King on 2-lap old hards. Can he get a comeback? Does Jack the King have any damage? It doesn't seem like he has any damage. Former Barland 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, mate. Let's keep it disciplined, eh? Remember, the rules are the same for everybody. Gotta take it a little more conservative, mate. But it's okay, you know, safety cars are super, super common around this track. As Crossfires and Luke get into a little bit of an argy-bargy. We're having some overtakes left, right, and center. It's another yellow flags are flying out everywhere. The stewards are going crazy. They look like NFL referees throwing out them yellow flags. Oh, we have some damage. Babu J. Babu J has lost his front wing. What has happened? Oh, there will definitely be steward decisions here. Baboon J has to stay composed. He has to go into the pits. He has to remember this is a very long race, a very safety car prone race. Baboon J needs to get in there, put on... Will he get on the hard tires, try to get to the end of the race, or put on some medium tires? Don't know. I mean, the strategy here is very much a bet for Baboon J, as he doesn't exactly know that if there's going to be a safety car, he goes on the hard tire. Baboon J, it's a safe bet. Baboon J going on the hard tire in case of a safety car. This man can always just go back into the pits as he's already back of the grid. As here come Luke and Broomhandle having a very nice battle. Behind them goes Crossfires. It's a three-way battle. Another yellow flag. What has happened here? Oh, Baboon J has left the session after leaving the pits and instantly spinning or crashing. I'm not quite sure what has happened there, but we do have a delicious battle here for 7th place. As Broomhandle leads the charge, behind him goes Crossfires and Luke Flano. We were promised some very delicious racing from Broomhandles, and he has been delivering already up into P7 on the medium tires. He is the 3rd medium runner here. He has to get close. He has to close the gap. Oh no, he's not a medium runner. He's a soft runner. As we're going to go on board with Cross Strikes. He might have a dive into the bus stop chicane here. As we see the drivers get very close, smelling each other's gearboxes, inhaling that exhaust from the car in front. It's another yellow flag. Alright, minute 36 of PSG versus Red Bull Leipzig. The score is 1-0, goal from Marquinhos. I'm not gonna lie, that Leipzig jersey's looking very sexy. And it's an overtake from Crossfires on Broomhandles as they go wheel to wheel. And Broomhandles tries to stick it round the outside. They go wheel to wheel as we go on board with Luke. Broomhandle now is the 3rd car in this group of 3 of Crossfires. Luke and Broomhandles are having a very nice battle, very entertaining battle, as the gap here from YouTube and Woolly Kid has not quite separated, but it's not DRS, but very close. Again, the same with 3rd place, 4th place looking to drop back just a little bit from the front 3 podium runners. As we look back into get into some Basket Emil is catching up Broomhandle. I don't know if Broomhandle has taken some damage or if anything's going on with the Racing Point, because he has been overtaken twice in the lap. He has some front wing damage, as we can noticeably see on the right side of the wing. Broomhandle has some damage. I don't know exactly what happened during that collision, but he will dive into the pits. Change his wing and put on the hards, I believe. Basket Emil jumps into 9th place. As Luke Flano, YouTube Marin 3-second penalty, multiple warnings, pushing it a little too hard, trying to get into the DRS of Willy Kid. As he doesn't quite have DRS, but he will get that little bit of slipstream, which doesn't seem to be doing anybody any favors in F1 2020, as we have an overtake. Oh, it's a pit lane. My bad, lads. As we do, Luke Flano, go wheel to wheel, the Haas and the Alpha Tauri. Amazing racing. Wow. This is very clean racing, lads. This is exactly what we want to see in league racing. Nothing less than this. This is quality racing from the Alpha Tauri and Cross Strikes, as they're switching, they're weaving, they're looking like they're knitting something together, going zigzag. They're looking like some DNA right now, just crossing each other. As Luke Flano spins it, keeps the car alive, takes no damage. It's a spin, but the race is still alive for Luke, as he is in the points. He does not use reset to track. We know how dangerous that can be and how tempting that can be for the drivers that want to get back on the track as quickly as possible after spinning. Luke needs to get composed here. Luke needs to focus and try to close that gap to 9th place. The race isn't over, mate. We know there's safety cars in this race. As the fastest lap right now goes to YouTube Marin with a 46.3. Seems as if the field has spread out a little bit here, and nobody's in the DRS of anybody, as a couple of cars have had some spinsies here, and as the Racing Point has a spin. The Racing Point has a spin, breaks his front wing, will most likely get into the pits. Tygo plays, will be looking to change out his front wing as he goes into the pits alongside the Ferrari of Day Miles. Does Day Miles have any damage? Broom handle on the mediums, my mistake. I said he put on the hards, but broom handles. Tygo Place has been disqualified from the session. We only have 15 racers left. That's a... I don't know what's going on here from the man. I think he might have forgot to release the clutch. Release the clutch, mate. Release the clutch. YouTube Marine pushing every little turn to get into the DRS of Willy Kid Blue. He knows he needs to stay in the DRS to keep this race alive, because if Willy Kid Blue can build up a little bit of a gap, maybe 2 seconds, that Dirty Air might be able to keep the Flying Dutch behind. As it stands, P1 for Willy Kid, the Flying Dutchman of Marine in P2, FLR P3, Yanis Knight, a couple of seconds behind the FLR into P4, and alright, YouTube. The pit window is open. The pit window is open now. People will start to make their ways into the pits as Crossfire Strikes makes itself into the pit. It seems as if the Flying Dutchman has not clinched the DRS zone. Will he get the DRS? He's 9/10. Will it be open? As DRS is not open for Merwan, as he goes across the detection zone more than a second behind the Renault. The Renault here pushing quite hard, as we see his ERS very, very low in the teens here. YouTube Marine, the Flying Dutchman here, on a very similar type of deal with the ERS, having the ERS very, very low. FLR has 73%, and he's trying to close that gap to the leaders without using that ERS, which seems to be like the move for this man. Just this man needs to remember that he needs to use ERS before he goes in the pits, because when you go in the pits, you get a very, very large recharge, and you could be misusing some of that energy if you don't use it, if I'm explaining myself correctly. Now, FLR has closed the gap to 1.2 seconds to the car in front, to the McLaren of the Flying Dutchman. As Taco is close to Yanis, they might be looking to have a battle here, because Taco wasn't really looking to scare anybody here in the qualifying. He was showing solid laps, but he wasn't exactly showing the most blistering lap times I've ever seen. As I think Neymar has scored here for PSG. No, Di Maria. Di Maria makes it 2-0 for PSG, lads. I think that's the end of the road for Leipzig. It was a very, very entertaining road, but you know, the world-class players deliver at the end of the day. As Tak goes into P2, as the leaders go in the pits, Willie goes in the pits, trying to get an undercut, trying to maybe extend his lead. And it's a virtual safety car. What has happened during the pits? How can Willie... How has Willie managed to get himself into provisional P3? We're gonna go on board with Taco here, see if we can make a move on Giannis. They might be going into the pits here on this next lap. Alright, so into provisional P1, YouTube, Merbein, the Flying Dutchman, somehow, someway, manages to get himself in front of the Renault. The Renault will be looking to make his way back into the fight of the front three, that is FLR, the Flying Dutchman, and Willie Kid. As we're gonna see if there's anybody close to anybody here. As we're gonna go up Barouche here, it's looking like a three-way battle as we've got a train of 3 cars with DRS. The 2 behind will have DRS open. 2 tenths behind. Will he get the move done? Opens up DRS, gets every little bit of slipstream he can. Goes around the outside. Round the outside, it's a straight. He goes to the left bar, gets the braking point nicely, and takes his line. Oh, FLR overtakes Merlin for provisional P1. And it's a purple sector for the man from Germany. YouTube will be looking to get himself back in front into P1, but it will be very, very hard as FLR, we all know, shows blistering pace around this track. Willie Kid seems to have dropped off a little bit. I don't know what's going on with Willie Kid. Willie Kid was showing some blistering pace as he's saving up ERS as the man in provisional P1 has 70% ERS, which is not good for the Flying Dutchman of YouTube, Mirai. Crossfire here looking to make a move on Emil. He will be trying to close this gap to Emil and get across him because he'll be looking to get in front in the championship, of course. What do you mean because, Popzito? A battle here. We have a battle here for 11th place as Luke makes a dive down the inside of Jack the King. Jack the King cedes the position. The Alpha Tauri of Luke gets in front. Luke was having a pretty good battle earlier, and I don't know what happened to Luke, but as we'll go back into the front runners, into the pits has gone Cosmic. Yanis Knight. What has happened to Yanis as he has 10 lap old mediums and is down to P6? What has happened with this man? We have the two men who have not pitted for this race. Merain Milan and Taco Adobada on the alternative strategy. What lap will these two pit on? I'm thinking they might want to pit on this lap or the next lap if they can push their strategy a little bit too much. But they don't want to do that as the actual leaders of the race start to close in on them. That's 3.6 seconds difference in between both groups, and that's a virtual safety car. And it's Jack the King. Is that Jack the King? I believe that is Jack the King. Stop on the main straight. FLR, drive-through penalty. And that's a drive-through penalty for FLR. What is going on? What has he done? Has he gone too much during the virtual safety car? FLR has bowled the lead. That is so sad to see. But YouTube Marine must be very, very happy with that as he gets into provisional P1, clean air in front of him. Very, very big lead to P2. He should be able to seal this and take the victory home for McLaren and for Netherlands or Holland. The only battle that seems to be going on is the battle here of the front runners who have not pitted, who will be most likely dropping in somewhere behind Willie. Oh, we have a battle here. Will the frontrunners making the dive into the pits as they stay out another lap, as they will be looking to push the medium tires as far as they can to get the soft tire on at the end of the race. 12 lap old mediums for these front two as they're pushing. Crossfire Strikes gets a 3-second penalty. Very, very, very sad race for Irie style F1, as this man was promising to have a very, very good race, very, very quick around this track. As he was going into the final sector, collides with his teammate. It wasn't. Oh, who is that? It's Taco. Taco's lost it. He's cracked under pressure. Marine Milan will be looking to push his lead as Taco has damage. Has Taco got damage? He has got damage. That's looking like a yellow wing to me. I don't really know, but we can see the loss of downforce on Taco, as he will be most likely getting overtaken by YouTube Marine, as this might be a good time to jump in the pits. If you're Marine Milan, this will definitely be the pit stop for Taco. YouTube Marine cleanly taking this victory home as Taco dives into the pits. This man stays out 6 seconds to the man behind, who has way, way better tires than him. Crossfire Strikes looking to close the gap on FLR. That's a 3-second penalty for Luke. As Taco will come out of the pits right next to Broom Handles, and Broom Handles might have some action at the end of the day. 7 lap old mediums against the fresh tires, the fresh soft tires of Taco. He's not in the DRS here. Basket Emil will be looking to make a surprise move. He doesn't need to make a surprise move on Yanis Knight, because Yanis Knight has not pitted, as he is on 13 lap old mediums. This madman right here. Marine Milan still pushing these medium tires. 13 lap old in Spa. The gap from him to the leader has gone down about a second in the last lap, which is not good, but you have to consider there are 9-lap older tires that he's going in. He goes into the pits, will get the softs on, and will push through the field. We'll see what he will get as YouTube charges into P1 as the man goes. Merijn overtakes Merijn. It's the Dutch rivalry. Willy Kid Blue seems to be solidly into P2 here, even though after all the mistakes he made, not all the mistakes he made, the mistake he made or whatever went wrong during his race, which I didn't quite see. I think he will be pleased with a P2 after all the controversy that's been going on. As we have some wheel-to-wheel action, people come out of the pits very, very together. Oh yes! This is exactly what we wanted to see, lads, as we go on board with Merijn Milan with the soft tires, 5-lap pressure tires, and the better compound than the car in front. Can FLR keep Merijn Milan behind? The strategy has been working out for Merijn Milan, as now he is in P5 with fresh soft tires. He has only 7 laps to go. As you can just see how the gap gets closer and closer. Look at the grip on those tires. It's just far, far superior than FLR on the 5-lap old mediums, which shouldn't be doing too bad. But the soft tire definitely has a significant advantage. But can we see the raw pace from FLR as he makes a mistake and he goes wide? He goes wide here into this chicane. It's another 3-second time penalty for Crossfire. That is not what you want to see from Crossfire, as the field looks to be pretty... I mean, it's not super condensed, but we don't have the biggest gaps in the world, as the gaps look to be from 10 seconds to 0 seconds. We have some 3-second gaps, 2-second, 4, and some 5s, but those with some a couple of 3-second penalties will change very, very quickly. Will very, very quickly change that. So the podium looking very, very likely here for Merijn Milan if he can just keep it composed. He needs to get this overtake done on FLR 219, the German man. DRS will be wide open here, puts on overtake. FLR does not turn on overtake, as he knows this is not his fight. Milan goes in front. We'll be looking to hunt down the Mercedes of Basket Emil. Brilliant pit stop strategy from Merijn Milan, as at the moment he seems to be the only car who is looking to make a charge on somebody, as the gap broom handle with nursing home these 9-lap old mediums which he put on at the beginning of the race, which is very, very unfortunate for Broom Handler, as he had some damage in the beginning. And that's a 5-second time penalty for Duzelex, as he's already in P13. Doesn't really matter. He'll be looking to put on the softs. He might go for a fastest lap. Oh, is that a driver with no helmet? I think we're gonna have to send this one to the stewards. There is a driver with in the pit lane. Red Bull doesn't care. They just send him out there, full send, balls deep for Red Bull. Merijn Milan has closed the gap. He's into the DRS. He will be overtaking the Mercedes of Basket Emil very, very soon, as he has far, far superior strategy and seems to be the faster driver of the two. Here comes the Williams man, getting that slipstream on Basket Emil. Opens up DRS, turns on the overtake. Basket Emil does not turn on the overtake, as he says, it's not my place to defend the man in the soft tires. It's not my place to defend the Williams man. His job now of Basket Emil is, can he keep FLR behind, because FLR will most definitely be looking to take over this Mercedes. 5 laps to go, 3.6 seconds gap to the man in P2. It's a pretty big gap here for Marine Milan. 3.5 seconds, 5 laps. But it's not impossible. As we know, he's got way faster tires. He's got way fresher tires. And the gap just starts going down little by little. 3.5. Oh, Willie Kid Blue solidly keeping this gap very healthy at the 3-second par FLR into the DRS of Basket Emile. Will we be seeing a move from FLR onto Basket Emile? Will Basket Emile be defending his place, or will he just stick with his spot and try to keep it? Because there are a couple of cars that are not too far off behind us. Crossfire Strikes and Taco Adobala are not too far off behind Basket Emile, but we know Crossfire Strike has in fact got a couple of penalties under his belt, so we will be seeing if any action happens with them two as we go on board here with FLR looking to make a move on Basket Emile. He is in the DRS, quite far off behind him, 9/10, but the DRS, no DRS for my man. There's no DRS for FLR, as he needs to stay out of the DRS. Basket Emile, if he wants to stay in front of FLR, they have the same tires right now, so if he can get out of the DRS and maybe put the dirty air into play here, he might be looking at a very good result of P4 for Basket Emile, especially since his teammate Irie Style is not here to guide him through the field as he did last race, because we all saw last race how the two Mercedes stuck together the whole race and got a pretty decent constructors finish there. It was, I believe, 5th and 6th, or 4th and 5th. Either way, was a very solid, was a very proper strategy the two Mercedes pulled off there. This did not quite work this race. They kind of went for a Hamilton and Rosberg in Barcelona there as they went together. As the two Mercedes came together and ended one half of the Mercedes race. Irie Style, very disappointed. Oh my. Marine Milan has looked, it seems as if he's made a mistake because he was closing in on the leaders in front of him, but somehow, some way, Basket Emile is just bringing the sauce here. He's into the DRS of Marine Milan. I don't know how that's come to be, but we might be seeing a last lap battle for P2 here, as we have two cars. We have three cars, as Marine Milan has a soft tire, is 3 seconds behind the man in second place. He doesn't look like he will be making a move as Crossfire Strikes leaves the session. I think he's left the session after so many penalties, or maybe he's lost the connection, but it looks like the battle will now be between Basket Emile and Marine Milan and FLR, as it will be going into the last couple of laps, fighting for that podium position. The podium position seems to have sealed the way for first place of the Flying Dutchman of Milan. I mean, not Milan, Marine. YouTube Marine. Willie Kid solidly into P2, fluctuating that gap between around 3 seconds. It doesn't seem as if he's in too much danger, but the person who is in danger here now is the Mercedes of Basket Emile, just getting charged up right from behind the FLR. No, the Mercedes is Basket Emile, man. Seems as if Marine Milan is pulling a little bit away from the group here as he's leaving the FLR and Basket Emil to the battle of their own as the Williams man has seemed to gotten away of the DRS zone of Basket Emil. Basket Emil definitely not clear of FLR, and we all know FLR, the German machine, will be looking for that P4. Basket Emil back into within 1 second of Marine Milan. FLR 35% ERS. Basket has somewhere around there too, but Marine Milan has considerably less ERS. Crossfire Strikes makes his way back into the race as he might be in a battle here with Giannis Knight. I mean, he was disconnected. He's now back. He's taken control. Giannis Knight makes a dive down the inside. Brilliant move from Giannis Knight as he dives into the pits. Crossfire Giannis Knight moves into P7. That looks like that's the end of the race for Giannis Knight. Yanni Taco doesn't seem like he's gonna go anywhere as well. FLR and Basket Emil, here they come on board. Ulgo turns on the DRS, ERS open too. Makes the move round the outside. Brilliant move from FLR as FLR will now be looking to make a move on Marine Milan. We'll be looking to get in that podium after a very, very tricky and controversial race. There has been a lot of action here at Spa, a lot of pit strategies, a lot of crashes. What will the end grid look like? Alright, as we see the driver of the day right now looking to beat Crossfire Strike after completing 8 overtakes during this race. Alright, going into the final lap of the race, the Flying Dutchman clearly flying in this race. We'll be looking to seal the deal here for McLaren, for Netherlands, and bring home the victory. Very, very well. Very good job from the McLaren. Very solid performance from the McLaren. Had some battles in the beginning, got the job done when it needed to be done, stayed composed during all the controversy in the race, stayed out of trouble, and here he is in P1. FLR and Basket Emil here. Doesn't seem like there's gonna be any overtaking here until the end of the race, but might we see a last move here as the pressure is on, as these 3 drivers in 4th, 5th, and 6th have to deliver. I mean 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They have to deliver here as there's no room for mistake. One mistake and it's over. Pushing at the maximum. FLR very much pushing, trying to keep it composed, trying to keep it on the track. Basket Emil trying to see if we can close the gap to FLR, maybe force a mistake on him and get in front of him. Taco Adobada, 3-second penalty. Multiple warnings for the Alpha Tauri. The Williams man looking to have very, very strong pace here. The Williams looking to bring this one home. Basket Emil, he might have a dive down the inside into the last turn. Will he do it? Will he go for it? Turns on everything. They go wheel to wheel. Oh, will he go? Will he stick it round the outside? As the car gets the move done, he closes the door and gets through, and that will be 5-second time penalty for YouTube. Oh, and all the penalties bring him all the way down. That's P1 for Willy Kid Blue. Marine Milan into P2, and that's a podium for FLR. YouTube Marine with so much penalties that he had charged up. It didn't seem as if he had much penalties. I don't know what happened here at the end. I really don't know what has happened. We will have to see in the replays, in the steward's decision, in Discord. I will keep you guys updated on what happened in the next race. Oh, Crossfire Strikes into the barriers, the wheels off. That's a safety car. Oh my. The Ferrari sees the Haas. Stranded in the middle of the track. Gets across the line. Here comes Luke. Oh, Luke manages to get points. Amazing. And that's Luke. Gets 1 point. That's absolutely sensational from the man. Driver of the day, Broomhandle. Broomhandle was promising a very, very exciting race, and he did deliver as he gets driver of the day. And we have a couple of flying heads here on the podium. The man in Renault will lift the trophy. Willy Kid, solid performance from Willy Kid. I'm not sure if they were mistakes or there were mistakes from other people, but the point is the race did not go as planned for Willy Kid. But at the end of the day, kept his head down, kept racing, kept the gap reasonably close to the Flying Dutchman of YouTube Marine, and at the end of the day clinched P1 and got the 25 points. That's the fastest lap for Taco with a 45.1. He will be getting that extra point. And lads, Spot has delivered once again. Hope everybody enjoyed the commentary. Hope everybody enjoyed the race and the action. We will see you next round.